Well, this is a response video to basically the Modern Mystic, but also Matt. Um, you know, I don't. This is. I sort of saw this coming, but even though I sort of saw it coming, it's still hard to accept. It's hard to accept that intelligent people apparently just they can't step past this need or this desire to keep things contained intellectually, to control the course of truth in a sense, because they're uncomfortable with the idea that maybe meaning is as flawed, or that our meaning, our purpose, is as is as unpleasant a truth as many of the other truths we have discovered. And so, well, anyway, we're having this argument over the last couple of days regarding the merger of science and religion, that is somehow a desirable human evolution. The next step is to screw science, because you see, science is evil. It's it's science's fault that human beings are selfish, greedy, materialistic bastards and have converted every science into a capitalist weapon, to use against our culture and our future, even for money. Okay, obviously the war machine is a money machine. Obviously, all the gadgetry and the rest of it, a lot of it is just because you can paint a smiley face on almost anything and sell it to some sucker. But anyway, obviously technology has changed our world, and some for the better, some for the worst, but whatever. That's not science's fault. But let's, if you have to even make this argument, if you have to even defend science from its abuse by the materialistic bastards, we're already in big trouble if I have to make that defense. So anyway, if you've heard any of my videos, my philosophy is pretty damn dark. Just about as dark as you can get. But I've been accused of being too gooey. Yeah, I'm just apparently, nature has evolved us not only to have hair on our ass, but to be controlled by women, and women need us to be sensitive, and so therefore I have corrupted my entire intellectual philosophy with my sensitivity, and in allowing that corruption I have somehow composed perhaps the darkest philosophy being expounded on YouTube, in this community anyway. I say, isn't that amazing? I did it because I'm too sensitive. I don't, whatever. Very hard to understand any of that. So anyway, I just, there's an intellectual process here, and we apparently, the intellectuals now say we can dissect and examine every aspect of life except meaning. That's off limits. We can't sit there and try to figure out the truth in that regard. We can analyze the brain and try to figure out what does what and how it functions and all the rest of this stuff, but we can't analyze our own place in the universe, and we certainly can't ask the question, are we being productive? You say, because no, you're just supposed to live life. You're not supposed to try to live a productive life, because to do that on purpose would be foolish. Yes, it would be just ludicrous to intentionally attempt to design your life to be as efficient as possible. That would be an insult to intelligence, you see. And that's the new merger. That's the new merger of science and religion. because religion gives us this ability to be hypocrites. Isn't that charming? That's what we really want. We must retain. That's the great value in religion that we must retain, is the ability to be hypocrites and the ability to be duplicitous. To say one thing and do another. That's what we need. We need to retain that. And so science doesn't let us do that. So fuck science. Let's go with the religious approach, which it will allow us to indulge all our own selfish needs and desires, and we can be happy then. And wouldn't that be great? It's much better to be happy than efficient and productive. That's the equation. Happiness does not equal productive. You see, no. Happiness is greater than productive. And that's their equation. And I'm apparently the Einstein in the desert who dares to defy that and say, no, guess what? You want a meaningful life, guess what? You have to live a productive life. And to live a productive life, you have to actually analyze meaning and try to figure out what is productive and what isn't productive. What will likely be a good thing to do and what will likely be a bad thing to do. You see, we can't know it exactly. I mean, like, we've done this equation before, but we don't know if it would be a good thing or bad thing to kill Adolf Hitler in 1930, you see, because we don't know if World War II was maybe a necessary part of our history. We might have learned some lessons from World War II, and we might have prevented a worse war a few years later. So who knows? It might have been a good thing not to kill Adolf Hitler. As bad as things turned out, it could have been worse. That's always true. But, the law of probability says, here in this circumstance, that there are certain behavior, certain things, certain roads you can follow that are more likely to be productive than unproductive. But we're not allowed to look at those. We're not allowed to examine the available roads and figure out which is the best road to travel. No, we should eeny, meeny, miny, moe, or we should let our penis decide, or the hair on our ass decide, or we should ask the wife. But no, we shouldn't examine it. And that's the that's the state of philosophy, intellectual philosophy. That's the way to go. Is that we'll examine everything except meaning. The most important thing in the universe, no, we'll leave that alone, because we'd rather go with the religious mold. Not the dogma, of course, but just the idea of let's make up a truth that's pleasant, so we can, not worry and be happy, and sing a tune and dance, with the truth. We won't grab hold of the truth. We'll just dance around the truth and play with the truth and have an experience with the truth. But we won't let the truth touch us. We won't be controlled by the truth. We'll just play a game, and that'll be the course of human evolution. And to me, it's the road to ruin. We are doomed. The only thing that can save us is the truth. The only thing that can give us meaning is the truth. We have to understand it. We have to try to find it and grab it, and for good or bad. I mean, maybe it'll be an unpleasant truth, but the only way we could deal with the unpleasant truth is if we recognize it first. We can't get anywhere if we don't know it. And to say let's not even examine it, it's not even worth the effort. What can I say? You're all crazy.